Most people think hydration is just drink more water, but there's a huge difference between water moving through your body and water actually entering your muscle cell, where strength and recovery and growth actually happen. Muscle is roughly 75% water, so even small levels of dehydration can noticeably reduce your force output, it can slow your recovery, and it can blunt muscle protein synthesis, which means you can train hard and eat perfectly, but still be underperforming simply because your cells aren't hydrated. Drinking water alone is not enough. Water needs electrolytes to cross the cell membrane, so without the minerals that actually move that fluid into the cell, the water you're drinking just can't do the job. This explains why some people can drink all day long and pee constantly and are still thirsty, or why pumps disappear halfway through a session, and why strength can fluctuate from day to day, or why energy drops off a cliff in the mid-afternoon. So key players are going to be sodium, magnesium, and potassium. They're going to control the flow of water inside and outside of your cells. Sodium regulates the fluid outside the cell, potassium regulates the fluid inside the cell, and magnesium makes the sodium-potassium pump run because ATP, your body's energy currency, only functions effectively when it's bound to magnesium. So if you're low on any of the three, the pump slows down and water sits outside your cells instead of getting to where it's needed most. So let's talk about what actually works. The simplest starting point is to hit a reasonable water target. Aim for roughly a half an ounce to 1 ounce a pound of body weight per day. So if you're 200 pounds, you should be somewhere between 100 and 200 ounces per day. If you're active, you're training, or you sweat a lot, then you should be on the higher end of that. Next is mineral intake. I recommend athletes salt their food with intent, so you're naturally increasing your sodium throughout the day. For sodium, most people do well somewhere between 2 and 5 grams of sodium per day. People training hard, sweating, or living in hot climates will often need the upper half of that range. So use real salt, pink Himalayan, Celtic, iodized sea salt, and don't be afraid to season your food generously. Potassium is the other side of the seesaw. The average recommended intake is around 3 to 6 grams per day, and you should be somewhere between 1 to 1 and 1 to 2 ratio sodium to potassium. And most people typically are under eating potassium. The easiest places to find potassium is going to be in potatoes, sweet potatoes, bananas, citrus, beans, leafy greens, yogurt, and avocado. And I recommend using pink potassium Celtic salt to help boost potassium alongside your sodium, so you can just salt your meals with that. Magnesium is the third piece. Around 300 to 600 milligrams per day of magnesium glycinate is a great target. Take that in the evening right before bed. This is going to support muscle relaxation, sleep quality, and it's going to fuel the sodium-potassium pump so hydration keeps working overnight. Magnesium oxide doesn't absorb very well and mostly acts as a laxative, so let's skip that one and stick to magnesium glycinate. When you put those three pieces together, water intake, salting your food instead of fearing salt, and prioritizing potassium-rich foods and adding magnesium at night, you fix hydration where it matters inside your cells. So let's give you an action plan to actually put this into place. So let's track our meals like normal, log your protein, your carbs, and your fats, but we're also going to look at sodium, potassium, and magnesium. We're going to spread that evenly across the day, and we're aiming for somewhere between 2 to 5 grams of sodium, 3 to 6 grams of potassium, and 300 to 600 milligrams of magnesium glycinate. Try to maintain a 1 to 1 to 1 to 2 ratio, sodium to potassium. Spread that intake evenly throughout the day and avoid slamming water at night. Hydrate and season your meals consistently throughout the day. Use the evening as your magnesium window because that's going to help you with better sleep, better recovery, and a better pump the next day. As you do this, watch your performance feedback. Hydration done right is going to feel like stronger pumps, steadier energy, fewer cramps, and more stable numbers in the gym. You're going to have less unnecessary urination, and you're going to have better recovery between sets and between sessions. When those show up, you know you're finally hydrating where it matters, inside your muscle cells, not just filling your bladder.